Welcome to Raise Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and in this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at this great new book, Portfolio, Mark Schultz, The Complete Various Drawings. And in case you need a little reminder of who Mark Schultz is, he's most famous for creating and drawing and writing Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, also known as Xenozoic Tales. This is fantastic stuff. He's combining all these things that I love. He shares an interest in all the same things I love. He's got this 50s rock and roll style stuff. He's a big fan of EC, Dinosaurs, the original King Kong, all those influences, all those things he loves that he's brought together to draw in this comic are all the things that I love too. Here you can see he's also a big fan of like space opera kind of stuff. And this is, kind of Flash Gordon, Alex Raymond, but Al Williamson kind of artwork. He's got this intrigue, space opera kind of intrigue that runs throughout this too. And just terrific stuff. Great dinosaurs. They are not the newest dinosaurs, the newest way we think of dinosaurs. They were a little retro even when he was making this. So even when this came out, they had already started to change how they thought about them. But they're great. They're old style dinosaurs, and I love them. And anyway, so that is the comic, and that is what he's most famous. It's not the only thing he's done, but that's what he's probably most famous for. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. But here we go. This is it, Portfolio. He did these 5 publications, the title of which was Various Drawings, and it's sketchbook work. A lot of pencils, some early ink type of stuff, just general sketchbook stuff. And whenever there's somebody who loves many of the same things I do, and there's such a great illustrator, I love seeing sketchbooks from these kind of people, because usually I see some of their raw ideas that I love so much in these great early stages. I love that kind of stuff. So you would think that since I have 2 out of the 5, that, I would have like a third or even a half of all the stuff that's in this book. No way. This is those 5 and then much more. This is a lot of stuff. And the paper, the printing quality, the binding of this book, it elevates even the stuff I already had. This is a great new book. Let's flip through it. Here we go. Just terrific stuff. He talks about an early gig he had doing Conan art. There's some of that stuff. Various Drawings, Volume 1. Look at that. Fantastic. And he generally, there's not a lot of descriptors on these, but he puts most of it in context, tells you, what the characters were, or what he might have been working on at the time that he did this for. So, this is early character work for Xenozoic Tales. Another Conan sketch. These Conan sketches, he seems much more thoughtful. These seem like the Conan in these, although this says it's for the coming of Conan the this seems probably more like, seems to me he's an older, a wiser Conan, one of the guys, you know, from the later stories, the guy who becomes a great king. There you go. There's illustrating Queen of the Black Coast. There's a lot of early Cadillacs and Dinosaurs stuff. So lots of great dinos. So this is all work that went into this. These are all sketches he did before he did this finished piece here. Terrific stuff. Cog spider. I mean, you know, these action stars in the poses, they're not really my favorite type of, you know, I'd rather see them in action, but he does it great. It says it's for the Wonderfest convention t-shirt. That's Golden Voyage of Sinbad, I guess these characters are from, kind of looks like they're from. Maybe it only takes inspiration from them. It's not really supposed to be, but that's what it looks like to me. A lot of early sketches. Now, this Tower of the Elephant Conan here, the elephant head seems so huge compared to that little tiny body. It doesn't quite work for me, but man, these are some great pieces. Wow. All right, I realize I'm being kind of quiet here, but that's just because I actually just got this. This book just came out. I did a quick flip through, but I haven't looked at it that closely yet. And so some of these pieces I've seen before, but a lot of it I haven't. Oh, man, I love that. Love that. Great. This is first sketched idea for the project that would evolve in Storms at Sea, channeling Willis O'Brien and King Kong. And that, you know, he perfectly captures that black and white photography of the 33 King Kong. Just tremendous. calls this one Impractical Amazon. And that of course speaks to that silly little piece of armor that she's got on there. There's an actual Flash Gordon piece. Wow. Somewhere on Mars. Oh yeah. Wow. An illustration for Frank Cho's Liberty Meadows. Man, the placement of that gutter, it's too bad. Wow. Cover illustration for a comic promoting an educational television series. Could have been on Field and Stream cover for the Field and Stream magazine. Oh, wow. That little female figure down there with those crabs all around. Wow. Watercolor done back in the late 1970s. The Wonders of Martian Science. Whoa. Great finished piece. So it says, crime fiction storytelling experiment. So one day the light bulb blinked on and I realized that I needed to simplify my cartooning style if I was ever to have a chance of producing comic stories again. This was a failed attempt. I didn't succeed in much simplification, although it was fun working in the hard-boiled crime genre. The bitter struggle for a simplified style continues this day. I mean, this is what he he calls a simplified style. That's funny. Oh man, that's a great monster. Rogues in the House. There's been a lot of, you know, he goes back. There's been a lot of illustrations. I haven't been naming all the stories, all the Conan stories he's done, but he's gone through like Rogues. I think there's another one for Rogues in the House. He goes back to the same stories a couple of different times, doing illustrations for them. And I love it. When Pterosaurs attack. Originally created as cover art for a DC comic. He changed it to his own character. Wow. Paleonauts. It's fun to see some of these more humorous drawings. Look at those faces. That's absolutely great. I'm not sure what the look on her face is supposed to be. what emotion that's supposed to be, but these underwater drawings with the light coming down and the way the water and the shadows, and just tremendous work. Prince Valiant. They're lucky that in the post-apocalyptic future, there's going to be so many old Cadillacs still around to be smushed up by dinosaurs. Oh, yeah, I do love that. That is a nice piece there. Oh, that's a great monster. Yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs' The Monster Men. Well, that's a great monster. There's Prince Valiant and Flash Gordon together. His character Hannah, who is I think she beats out Conan for being the character that's in the book the most, which makes sense since she's his character. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Commission. Wow. That's a pretty cool design he's worked up there for those underwater suits. Oh, I thought this was a comic book I had never heard of, Monster Red. It's a wine label he designed. Wow. Getting down to the end here. So, over 400 pages. Thumbnail studies for Xenozoic chapter headers. The red stars are ones works I chose to work up as finishes. Will Eisner's The Spirit comic book cover. Very cool. The original covers. So there you go. That's it. Massive, beautiful, You know, it's hard to say with Flesk how quickly this will sell out and whether or not they'll do a second printing. Sometimes instead of doing if they sell out, they seem to go, instead of doing another hardcover printing, they do a paperback. I would say if this looks like your thing, you might want to jump on this one, because it's just so terrific. I think it's going to go pretty quick. And I'll also point out that they reissued, speaking of the Xenozoic, they also reprinted this book, that's the complete Xenozoic comics. And this is in the original beautiful black and white. And he's inspired by the EC, and in some cases he's got about as many word balloons as an EC. The main thing I would if I had any criticisms of EC, it would be how many word balloons they have and how many captions that crowd up the beautiful artwork that these guys did. He actually, though, has a lot, and I mean a lot of scenes where, like, this has almost no captions or word balloons. And it's one of the things I love about him. He's got a lot of things where he tells a story through the illustrations instead of through the captions. I really love that. It's one of the things that makes me really appreciate his work so much. Like I said, dinosaurs all day long.